In this video, we are going to show you how you can credential and verify essential private sector resources that help maintain critical infrastructure during any type of disaster using your existing SalamanderLive subscription. There are two workflows in which we'll walk through, pre-credentialing and just-in-time credentialing. In both scenarios, you'll need to first set up a separate civilian-specific account. This civilian account will and should only be used to manage civilian resources. For pricing inquiries, you'll want to contact your local Salamander sales rep. Once the civilian account has been created for your organization or agency, the first step is to complete your organization record. To do this, click Organizations and then select your organization from the list. As the issuing organization, if you would like your city, county, or state seal and signature authority printed on the credential, upload those images to your organization record. Last, enter your organization's location and contact information. This can also be printed on the credential if you choose to do so with a custom design. The next step is to input all the private sector organizations into the database. Similar to a responder type account, a civilian record must be tied to an existing organization in the database. To do this, click the plus icon and enter in the required information: name, ID, type, country, state, and time zone. Similar to your organization record, upload the organization's logo and authorized signature and enter the organization's location and contact information if you also want those printed on a credential. To begin the pre-credentialing process, you will need to first gather the private sector organization's personnel information. The easiest and most efficient method in doing this is to send a copy of our import template to the organization to complete. To limit import errors, also forward along the People Import Quick Reference Guide, which contains the accepted formats and values for each field. The import template and guide can be found in Salamander University or by clicking Import. Once the template is completed and back in your hands, upload it into SalamanderLive by clicking Import and People. From there, click Choose File, select the file, click Open, and Upload File. To ensure the data imported properly, check your email for the import results and fix any records that need fixing. Next, print and distribute the credentials to the designated private sector organizations. To do this, click People and select all personnel within that organization and click Print. When printing, you can choose to print hard cards, paper copies, or digital copies. These credentials are consistent with FEMA's Crisis Event Response and Recover Access Framework and can be distributed in a physical or digital format. To print hard cards, select your hard card printer and select the R-Card Private Industry Design or your custom design. For paper copies, select your copier printer, and for digital copies, select Microsoft Print to PDF. For custom designs, these can be designed on your own by purchasing our ID Designer software, or they can be designed by your Salamander provider. Please contact your local sales rep for a quote on either option. Managing civilian resources that are not pre-credentialed is just as easy. You can collect the approved individual's information at checkpoints and generate a credential that can be scanned and tracked using the Track app. In this process, instead of an import, you will be manually adding the individual into the database. To manually add a person, simply click the plus icon and enter in the required information: first and last name, ID, and organization. Enter in any additional information if needed. For additional security and verification, capture a photo of the individual using your internal or external camera and upload it to the record. Last, print and provide the credential to the individual. Again, when printing, you can choose to provide them a hard card, a paper copy, or digital copy. With credentials created and distributed to private sector personnel, you can now verify the authenticity of their credentials using the Track app with Salamander Identity Verification activated. Salamander Identity Verification checks 5 things. 1. The individual exists in your SalamanderLive database. 2. The credential is not expired. 3. Any qualifications for that credential are not expired. 4. The individual is in good employment standing. And 5. The credential is the most recent printed credential. To do this, have one event running to validate the credentials. To start the validation process, simply log into the Track app and either create a new event by tapping the plus button or join an event that has already been created for ID verification. Once in the event, simply tap the Scan button to start scanning in the credentials that need to be validated. On the Select Assignment screen, create a new assignment. For this example, we're going to keep it simple by calling it Validated. Once the assignment is created or selected, one of 5 Salamander Identity Verification results will display. In the case of a warning, blocked, or offline result, the Track app user has the option to block the individual in the application and deny them access. As private sector personnel are being validated in the field, you can pull the Identity Verification Report at any time by clicking your event and then Reports to see who has been validated as well as the degree in which expired or counterfeit credentials have surfaced and take the necessary actions.